Preparations are also being made in the Mission Control Center in Houston, where control of the flight will switch once the shuttle clears the tower. There has not been a manned launch from Kennedy Space Center since the Apollo-Soyuz test project in July of 1975. With this launch, young and crippled, launch controllers at the Cape and flight controllers in Houston will experience the most dynamic, fast-paced series of launch events ever undertaken in the space program, all in less than 9 minutes. The most challenging ascent profile ever to be flown by a space vehicle. Photographers, film and television crews, plus newspaper and magazine writers from around the world, nearly 2,700 of them are here to cover the launch. In addition, approximately 600,000 spectators line the coastal area near the Kennedy Space Center. Arriving by every mode of transportation, they have come from every state in the Union and many foreign countries. The promise of a rebirth in America's manned space program and the dawn of a new era in space transportation awaits.
14, 13, T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We've gone for main engine start.
Roger, roll.
The roll will put the shuttle on its precise heading toward an imaginary target in space.
Roll program complete.
Roger, roll complete. Get a status. Fido? Go. Booster? Go. GNC? Go. Eagle? Go. Go at 40, Capcom. Columbia, Houston, you're go at 40.
The shuttle is now 40 seconds into flight.
Roger, Columbia, on the nice ride. You're lofting a little bit. You'll probably be slightly high at staging. Negative seats. Columbia, you're negative seats.
Should anything go wrong, the shuttle is now too high for the astronauts to use their ejection seats.
Columbia, you're go for SRB step.
We see SRB step flight.
Roger, on a step.
103 converge flight.
Bet. Capcom, let's tell them all the calls are going to be a tad early because of the hot first stage. Columbia, you're looking a little hot. All your calls will be a little early.
Okay. Yeah, map looks good here.
Stand by, press to MECO.
Columbia, stand by. Press to MECO.
Mark it.
Mark. Press for MECO.
Roger, press for MECO.
The shuttle can now continue toward MECO, main engine cutoff.
They like the VAP, Eagle. ECOM.
Let's go, flight.
Capcom, VAPs go.
Stand by, negative return.
Columbia, stand by for negative return.
Mark it.
Mark. Negative return. And your VAP is good.
Outstanding. Sure is. We can confirm it. Point of view. Point of view.
And single engine rotor flight.
And Columbia, your single engine rota.
Columbia can land safely at the Naval Air Station in Rota, Spain, even if 2 of the 3 main engines should fail. Right now, the engines are generating over 42 million horsepower.
Miko 25, 6,
Miko.
0, up at 220.
Roger, Miko.
And we got Miko confirmed.
Miko
Roger,
confirmed, and
Columbia,
it's
Miko.
right on the money, nominal.
Main engine cutoff. Columbia is now in space, traveling over 18,000 miles per hour.
Okay, we got set.
Roger, we confirm the step, Columbia.
The external tank has just been jettisoned and is now falling away from the shuttle back toward Earth. The tank will break up as planned over the Indian Ocean when it comes into contact with the atmosphere. Shortly, by firing the OMS, Orbital Maneuvering System engines, Columbia will achieve orbit. Then one of the most important tests of the mission will be attempted, opening the payload bay doors. The doors must be opened before the end of the 6th orbit to expose the space radiator cooling system. If the radiators cannot be exposed, heat collected from the onboard electronics cannot be released, and the astronauts will have to return home. The OMS burns are successful. Columbia is now in orbit, circling the Earth at an altitude of approximately 150 miles. The payload bay doors will now be opened.
Okay, the port door's coming open now.
Roger, copy.
Well, you are missing one fantastic sight. Boy, that is really beautiful out there.
We appreciate those updates.
Both doors have been opened.
See that, folks?
The radiators can be deployed to begin dissipating the heat.
We'll see that again with Starship,
Doors
man.
all opened up and
Soon.
hunky-dory. Glad to deploy it right on time.
And the radiators look good.
Okay, we want to show you our own pods here. We do have a few tile missing off of both of them. Off of the starboard pod, 3 tile and some smaller pieces, and off the port pod, looks like I see one full square and looks like a few little triangular shapes that are missing, and we're trying to put that on TV right now.
Roger, Crip, we can see that good.
From what we can see of both wings, tops and leading edges, though, there's all
That's right, Udava.
fully intact.
They lost tiles because of the sound suppression
Within
system.
minutes, an assessment is completed on the impact these missing tiles could have on the remainder
They
of the
got
mission.
shaken off from the vibrations from the SRBs, bouncing off the ground.
At a news conference later in the day, Flight Director Neil Hutchison answers questions from reporters.
But you asked me if I knew where there were any other tiles that might be loose. The answer is no. And quite frankly, we're not worried about any other tiles being loose.
At this writing, is there anything at all that would lead you to say you might not go for a full duration mission?
Nothing.
Columbia, Houston, you guys did so good, we're going to let you stay up there for a couple days. Your gopher on orbit.
Spacecraft must go for on orbit. This thing is just performing just outstanding.
Roger, we agree with that. And Columbia, Houston, just for your information, you dropped those SRBs right on target, and they were floating just the way they ought to be, and the boats were getting ready to fish them and bring them back.
Okay. The ride that they gave us was pretty neat.
The solid rocket boosters, which separated from the Columbia as planned 2 minutes 11 seconds into the flight, landed on target in the Atlantic
Noted,
Ocean,
Cor. We'll check it in a second.
151 miles downrange from the launch site. After being towed back to Kennedy Space Center, both boosters will be refurbished and used again in a future shuttle flight.
Yeah, Jason, pretty neat. Okay.
The 3rd and 4th OMS burns are also successful, raising Columbia's orbit to an altitude of approximately 172 miles. For the first television transmission from inside the spacecraft, the crew will give a status report on the mission.
The flight so far has gone as smooth as it could possibly go. We've done every test that we're supposed to do, and we're up on the timeline, and the vehicle has just been performing beautifully, much better than anyone ever expected to do on a first flight, and no systems are out of shape. And it's delightful up here in zero gravity, might add. Of course, we owe this to a lot of people. So we certainly want to thank everyone who has helped get this thing airborne, and can take great pride in it's doing so well right now. Okay, we're switching over to the aft camera here. Yeah, I'd like to echo John's words as I usually do. I guess being the so-called rookie on this flight, I had a thrill from the moment of liftoff all the way up to what we're doing now. It's really been super. The spacecraft has worked as advertised all the way along. I think we've got something that's really going to mean something to the country and the world. This vehicle is performing like a champ, like all of us that have worked so long on it knew that you would.
Okay, sir, we appreciate those comments.
I guess that does it.
That was a good time, and I think you must have practiced. We're just about to lose your ghost song.
Just accident.
Just accident, says Robert Crippen. None of the other events of the day have been accidental. Every test, liftoff, SRB separation and recovery, ET separation and impact, 4 ohms burns, payload bay door latch opening and closing tests, radiator latch deploy and stowing tests have all been successful.
I guess we owe you guys one super attaboy for today. This is fantastic. You worked through a pretty long, hard day, and you're essentially right on schedule, which is going to be close to being the first sort of spaceflight biz, I think, for first day activities. It's sure been fun working with you today, and we look forward to seeing you in the morning. I hope you get a good night's rest.
Okay, you guys did super work today. See you mañana.
Roger, thank you. See you tomorrow, guys.
Well, many hours went into this thing. A job well done by the shuttle space team. We can't say
She's sleek and lean, but I tell you right now, she's a mean machine. The Columbia. Not the kind you smoke. This here's a bird.
Morning, Columbia. Welcome to day 2.
All right. Appreciate that super wake-up music this morning. Well, we sure enjoyed it. Missing a good breakfast.
Today, the astronauts will test onboard systems and also review procedures for tomorrow's landing. A test of the flight control system is conducted by John Young. The flight control system operates Columbia's aero surfaces, the elevons, body flaps, rudder, and speed brake. These surfaces are useless in the vacuum of space, but will be essential tomorrow when the shuttle lands. This will require precision maneuverability, which the aero surfaces provide. Payload bay door cycling tests help ensure that latching and closing procedures can also be done before entry tomorrow. As with every mission, many pictures of the Earth are taken by the astronauts. Over 500 on this first shuttle flight.
All right.
Active volcanoes, cloud formations,
How much time we got left in this?
alluvial fans,
15. We'll be good.
giant whirlpools over 15 miles in diameter, sand dunes 1,500 feet high, running unbroken for hundreds of miles.
There's a manual latching system on the payload bay doors, Jason.
The high Himalayas,
it was good,
where mountain peaks reach 24,000 feet. And one of the most remarkable space photographs ever taken of the Earth, an area in Iran exposed to wind erosion, which has resulted in these breathtaking silt and sandstone formations that look more like a painting than a desert.
I don't know how you're getting docking port drift, but I don't get it, even with the big pad.
After lunch on the second day, the astronauts receive a phone call from the Vice President of the United States, George Bush.
We'll finish this up and then we'll get back to KSP.
Everything rocking along all right?
Spaceship is just performing beautifully.
Well, it's great, and everybody views it, I'm sure, just as the forerunner of great things to come. I think your trip is just going to ignite the excitement and the forward thinking from this country, so I really just wanted to call up and wish you the very best.
We certainly appreciate it, Mr. Vice President.
The crew also don and check out the ejection suits they will wear during entry. Young, Crippen, and Columbia pass every test.
Nice time on.
They are ready for the final phase of the mission, entry and landing.
Okay, Switchio, we could do that sometime. Rogers.
April 14th, 1981. NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center on the edge of Rogers Dry Lake Bed in California. A recovery convoy of 24 vehicles
nice
and more
truck.
than 100 personnel are assembling here
Oh,
to
look at
power
the
down
hardware,
Columbia after landing.
He was the VP at the time.
Enormous crowds are also beginning to arrive. A string of traffic 6 miles long waits to enter the base. Thousands more are already here.
Dude, Fox.
Close to 1.5 million people will eventually be on hand to see the landing.
Oh, look at all the hardware, man.
On board, the astronauts suit up for entry. The ascent and orbital phases of the mission have gone extremely well. Now the final phase must be completed. Before that begins,
Columbia, you have a go for payload bay door closing.
the doors, which have been open a total of 47 hours during the flight, must now be closed. Then, using the RCS thrusters,
Good night, future
Columbia
boy.
will maneuver into deorbit burn attitude, head down and backwards, fire the OMS engines one last time, and descend into the Earth's atmosphere.
Nice and easy does it, John. We're all riding with you.
Columbia is out of contact during the OMS burn. It will be in communication blackout, out of touch with mission control for almost 20 minutes. The landing site is almost 4,400 miles from entry interface. Chase planes are preparing to take off. One will call out altitudes and check Columbia for any damage just prior to landing.
Dude, that's sick.
When the shuttle touches down here, it will be traveling at 216 miles per hour. Right now, it's going more than 17,000 miles per hour. Before it lands, it must slow down, lose energy, and it must survive the intense heat caused by traveling through the atmosphere at such a
That's how
high
you
rate of
image
speed.
things. With a quad 50 mount, with cameras on
Several S-turns or roll reversals are used to slow down and maneuver Columbia through the atmosphere.
It's Edwards, yep.
This one is done at 256,000 feet.
Watch this.
When it is traveling at more than 26 times the speed of sound.
Ready? Oh!
This one
that
is
looks
done
like
at
fun.
208,000
Oh, I would
feet.
enjoy every second of this.
During these two roll reversals, entry heating is most severe.
That's so
with temperatures reaching 2,500 degrees some places on the vehicle.
1,500.
The aluminum skin will melt at 320 degrees. The silicate tiles must insulate the vehicle from the tremendous heat.
Yeah, laser. Yeah, I probably would
Since
too.
there
I
is no
don't
test
care.
facility on Earth to simulate the
Oh,
aerodynamic
that's
and structural
so cool. Shuttle's
environment
doing this.
Columbia is in right now,
Like what we did with the
only
SSTO. Same
calculations
thing.
could be used to predict what would happen during this phase of the flight.
I would enjoy every second of it. Yeah, buddy!
The predictions and calculations had to be right.
Land in the LA River.
Hello there, Houston. Columbia's here.
Hello, Columbia. Houston's here. How do you read?
Land clear, and we're doing Mach 10.3 at 180 AS.
Mach
and we
10.
couldn't agree more, John. Your state vector's good. We've got good data in-house.
It wasn't that fast.
The entry trajectory,
like kinda like
velocity, and position look good. Columbia is heading for home, now only 470 miles away.
More left RCS, but okay. Right, we show me a roll.
Both of those dudes.
And John, we're showing you rolling right.
And the guy in the
Looking
background.
good.
We're showing him crossing the coastline flag.
Columbia, we show you crossing the coast now.
The shuttle is first sighted at about 100,000 feet with a long-range camera from Anderson Peak, California.
What a way to come to California.
And flat pedal, I still look perfect right on the nominal.
That's nice. I like
Roger
that.
Out of 112K, 4.8 Mach.
Yeah!
We see Delaz 21 degrees.
A roll reversal is done over Bakersfield, California.
And then you gotta go over the peaks a little bit, and then you're out to Rogers.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right, Blue?
Trace has a tally.
Oh, that's so kick butt, dude.
And we're seeing 1.3 Gs coming around the hack.
Roger that.
Always overshoot. Yeah, S
The
turns are manual.
astronauts are making the final turn to line up with the runway.
See,
Columbia,
they went
you're
past
really
it
looking
and they
good.
turned
Right
around.
on the money. Right on the money.
They used it to slow
and
down.
turning on to final, your winds on the surface are calm.
I got a win.
Right,
You're right on the glide slope, Columbia.
Note that the T-38, in order to fly with the shuttle, needs to have its gear down. That's the only way they can get it to fly with the shuttle, because the shuttle
Chase
flies
reports
crappy.
no tile or other
He's got his
damage
gear
is
down.
evident
See
underneath
that?
the shuttle. Columbia's altitude is now just over 5,000 feet.
Heck, I like building them. But yeah, maybe. No, Golden Goose, I haven't.
Pretty clear?
Oh.
Without power, Columbia must land. It
Can
cannot
relate.
make another attempt.
You're coming.
You're coming. You're down.
Yeah, baby. Look at that thing. They're landing at Edwards Air Force Base, XL.
50 feet. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Down. That was gear 10.
Hey, Celtic.
5. 4. 3. Touchdown. Look at off, skipper.
Houston, Columbia is on rollout.
Houston, Columbia's on the rollout.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
That's so cool, man. What a beast. I'm taking up the hangar, Joe.
Take it up the hangar, Joe.
We're gonna dust it off first.
They didn't put a chute on it. That was later. They figured out that they cooked the brakes.
This is the world's greatest all-electric flying machine, I'll tell you that. It was super.
I know, Bill. I told you. It's trouble.
Okay, convoy's on its way.
Convoy 1, we'll stop on the Columbia. We'll stop. Look at how big it is,
Voyage of
dude. Look
Columbia
at the
has
people.
been a
Look how
success.
big that damn thing
The
is.
astronauts and the vehicles
Oh,
have
it's-
met
oh,
or exceeded all
so cool.
144
Miss it
flight
so
test
much, man.
objectives. The integrity of all the systems, propulsion, avionics, structural, flight
Wait
control,
for the pen flip.
power, and
Watch
thermal
John Young.
have been affirmed.
Watch the pen flip.
John Young's comments after
Yeah.
returning home.
I can't tell you what a tribute that is to the American working man and the American working woman, too. You can't imagine the variety of people who worked on this vehicle, from all walks of life, all capabilities and limitations. It's all due to their individual efforts. They proved that they can do the job. They proved it for the world to see. And I'm mighty proud to be associated with folks like that.
What a tribute
Texas to the
indeed.
end, baby.
The Columbia represents an achievement in aerospace technology and development never before realized in the history of manned spaceflight.
Yeah, they're
It is our
locked
basic
in.
building block for the future.
It's what we've been trying to do for the last 10 years. We've got a vehicle with a payload performance that will allow us to do that.
No, the ET
much
burned
cheaper
up,
than
Kelly.
we've been able to do it before. It will immeasurably improve the defensive capability of the country. It will help develop space science and technology. When we get operational, the space shuttle will be able to do in 5 to 10 years
Watch the pen
what
flip.
it would have taken us 20 to 30
Watch the
years
pen
to
flip.
do otherwise.
Watch it.
We
Pen
couldn't
flip.
do it if we didn't have the space shuttle and that payload capability. And the sooner we do those things, the better off the country's going to be.
A revolutionary new era in space transportation has just begun. Routine access to space. Welcome to the future.
Okay, all right. I just want to point out one last thing here. When John Young's walking around, they show that footage of him walking around this shuttle, right? And he's like, yeah! He's looking at it, shaking everybody's hand. John Young is the type of person that got put on top of a Saturn V and was like, huh. Oh, this is neat. All right. And then when he landed on the moon on Apollo 16, he's like, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool, I guess. To get even a measure of emotion from that guy means that this thing is a beast. Like, dude, he gets out, wants to shake everybody's hand, walks around doing a friggin' fist bump, walking around. Look at this thing. That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part. Just watch him. He's freaking pumped, dude. Watch. He gets out. He's like, oh, this is great. Look at this thing. I gotta see it. Let me go see it. Look at. Oh my God. Did you see that, man? Did you see me come in and land this thing? It's ridiculous. Really, he is. Well, it's true. Look. Did you see that thing? I flew that thing. You see that? You over there, you did a good job too. All right, let me shake your hand, buddy. All right, cool, sweet. Did you see that? See that landing? Oh, this is great. Look at this thing. It's freaking perfect. This thing's great. Oh. That's my favorite part, dude. It's just, this thing is cool. Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, did you see this thing? Oh man. You did a good job too. Here, I'm gonna shake. No, let me go over here and shake your hand. Look at this thing. Like, oh, this is just. Yes, fist bumps. Oh man, that's great. Oh, dude. Yeah, see, he's just walking around. They're like, hey, you gotta go over here. He's like, nah, I want to see it. That's the best, man. Yes! It makes me so happy. Oh my goodness. Yeah! I'm gonna go shake everybody's hand. Yeah. I'm John Young. You do not tell me what to do. It's right. The truck has a wind turbine. Yeah, it's not like they can connect into the grid out on the lake bed, dude. Yeah, leave me alone. I know what to do. Oh, what a beast. All right. We ready to get back into Kerbal? Damn, that thing is cool. Well, Green, they landed it out on the lake bed, dudes, because they weren't sure about the brakes. They weren't sure. So what they did was they landed it out at Armstrong Flight Research Center. It was called Dryden Flight Research Center at the time. They renamed it Armstrong in 2012. They landed it out on the lake bed because the lake bed's long. It is a huge runway out there, like a 5-mile long runway. They could have landed it on the Edwards Air Force Base runway was there. The shuttle landing facility out there, it was there. It was already there. The runway was, not like the mate demate and everything. They had to get that out there. But yeah, they landed it out on the lake bed just to roll it out and to make sure they didn't cook the brakes or anything.
That's all. Give it a lot of... There's nothing out there. It's nice and flat. I've seen it. Been out there, dude. It's pretty cool. Yep, a lot of space just in case. That's right. I got a question. I watched For All Mankind, yeah? And they show the Sea Dragon rocket. What was the idea of it being underwater when it launching? When it was launching? Oh, Sea Dragon? Yeah, yeah, that's right, Just Face. That's right. I recall that being you last night. That's right, Idas. Dude, I was so pumped, man. I was so pumped from that thing, dude. I want to fly it again. It's called atmospheric penetration, Denny. The parameter video. They end up paving the runway? No, not on the lake bed. No. They just landed. That runway out at Edwards is a testing runway, so it's already long. So they decided to land it there. RJ, I haven't done much in Kerbal because we're trying to solve a different problem, but I'll get to that in a moment. So Just Face, yeah, I mean I miss him too. And Xanath, okay, your question. I just want to make sure I got everything. Sea Dragon. So the reason why the Sea Dragon launched from water is because Sea Dragon was designed to be made in a shipyard dry dock. The idea that Robert Truax, the engineer that came up with it, was that Sea Dragon, it's the same thing with Starship, dude. Starship actually takes a page out of Sea Dragon's book. The idea is that if you make a rocket out of steel and literally just make it bigger, so what? So what if it doesn't make it through reentry? Who cares? It's made out of steel. It's not very expensive to launch. Just literally make a bigger rocket instead of using some exotic metal like aluminum. Well, not exotic metal, but you know what I mean. Like aluminum or lithium or magnesium or, 301 stainless or whatever. Just make it out of steel. Make it in a shipyard. Use marine grade steel and just make a freaking huge rocket, literally the size of an aircraft carrier. It's not going to burn up on reentry. The thing's frigging huge. Sea Dragon was reusable. At least it was planned to be. The first stage. Yeah, just literally make a bigger rocket out of cheaper materials because steel is... You can scale steel very, very well. This is why we don't see skyscrapers made out of aluminum. You know what I mean? Or an aircraft carrier or a ship. Like a battleship's not made out of aluminum. Would it be better? I don't know, maybe. That was the idea. So the idea is because it was made in a dry dock, you flood the dry dock after the rocket's ready to go, and then you just tow it out into the water, and then there's a cap to prevent water from going into the rocket engine. And then it has ballast tanks, and they'll float it, and then they sink the ballast tanks, turns the rocket upright, and then they ignite the motor. Done. Yeah, something like that. So Elon kind of took a page out of Robert Truax's book by using 304L stainless. Same idea. Starships can be made in mass because stainless steel is a lot easier to work with. It has better thermal properties. It's stronger. It's easier to work with. You can make it out in a field. It's really not an issue. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, there you go, Green, right? So, okay, now imagine an aircraft carrier that goes through re-entry, survives, splashes in the ocean, and goes brr like nothing. Well, Swishio, that's the idea. It's a good idea. That's not stupid, man. The reason why that wouldn't have... he got shunned for it, basically. Everyone's like, yeah, that's never happening. The reason why that was a thing was because, the reason why that was a thing is because everybody was still in kind of an expendable launch vehicle kind of mentality. Once again, it's the landing gear analogy that I keep telling you guys. Would a 747 be more efficient if you weren't carrying the landing gear? If it jettisoned the landing gear after launch? Yeah, of course it would be more efficient. But it also would not be reusable either. Sometimes making it out of different material like steel, or in Starship's case, stainless steel, which, unless you're using like a balloon tank, would be widely like... That's not really that good of an idea, right? Instead of doing that, just use thicker materials and literally make a bigger rocket. I mean, Elon, he even admitted it. I forget where he said it, but he said that Starship is the size that it is because you need to achieve economies of scale, and it's easier to do that with a bigger rocket that's made out of simpler materials. Robert Truax wrote a whole paper about this with Sea Dragon. Yeah, it's a really smart idea. Hey, Mock. When is the projected launch for Super Heavy? I'd say sometime in September, dude. Interesting re-entry strategy. Make it so big it acts like a meteor and just hits the ground before it burns up. If it's thick enough steel to survive to hold rocket engine, then yeah, I don't really think it's going to be that big of an issue. Steel can do just fine during re-entry. If you have a lot of it, you need a big surface area, but I mean, yeah, hopefully we get to that someday. Talks from Inside Area on Space says that James Webb is trending for December 2021. Cool. Using aluminum in as a battleship has been used. Made a really light ship until you find out aluminum burns with a few fumes. Yeah, Kelton, yeah, it's not the best idea, right? I just got banned from another channel because I forgot they had text-to-speech and I used like 4 emotes. Oops. Every streamer has different rules, Novacon. I have my own set of weird rules, you know. But, yep. Actually, Caviar, yeah, Starship is going to come in very similar. Starship's going to come in on a very similar trajectory to our SSTO, actually. But at the last second, Starship will flip upside down and do that instead of circling around and landing on the runway. Alright, dudes. So, yeah. While I was eating, I was thinking about it. Now that I got some fuel in the tank, dudes, let's go test it with drills. Let's send a truck out there, and let's go see. I'm gonna put some drilling equipment on the back of a K200 pallet, and I want to see what it does. Battlestar Galactica, oh, dude. Yeah, that was such a good episode, man. I still think seeing your eyes is weird. Yeah. Thanks. I guess. Like, alright. I mean, dude, it's funny I mean, I stopped doing that in 2017, man. It's been 4 years. Fuel in the tank. Ah ha ha! Yeah, alright. Alright, let's get the trailer out. What the hell was I trying to make here? Oh, we were trying to make a low boy. I see. Seeing your face is weird. Alright. Fair enough. No problem, Xanath. Yep. Always. I'm always up to talk about space, dude. Obviously. Like, space is my jam. Do I have an actual trailer? No. Let's just go with Bear, I guess. I don't know how this is possible, but I've been watching The Office these last 3 weeks. How come nobody ever told me anything about this show? Oh, dude, The Office is clutch, man. Are you watching the British one, Adam, or the American one?
No throttle up.
Pretty much. It's a Hemet, G-Star. Bring back EJ's face? Oh, Sniper! 56 months, coming up quick on that 5 years. Yeah. Here you go. You can have this instead. There, that's fine. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Is that good? The U.S. office? It's pretty funny, dude. Yeah. All right, let's do this. We miss you, Jim. Yeah, I know, man. I know. This is now a Jim stream. Okay, how about we just... I was trying to make a low boy. Yeah, screw that. That ain't gonna end well. I'm just gonna put some drilling equipment on this thing. Dude, I never realized how weird it is to not have your face on stream. Okay. Yeah, no, it didn't feel right. Actually, you know what? Just get rid of these. We were trying to make a low boy for something. I forget why. Alright, now I need some crossbars on the trailer here. We just gotta cross this. I'm just gonna build this. This is gonna be real fast. I'm gonna put some drilling equipment on the trailer, Pilch, and then we're gonna drive around. I gotta figure out what's going on here. There. These wheels, we don't need motors. I gotta find out why we're having problems with mining. You should be able to mine off the pad. And I think I think Booter had it right in chat. I think I might have just put the drills too high. That literally is a thing. If you put them too high, they won't mine. They have to detect the surface, so to speak. So we'll check. So I'm just gonna build out. We're gonna build out a little trailer here, a little flatbed. Gotta get the landing gear up in there. Want to know why a trailer's wheels are sometimes slid inward? No. Yes. Maybe. No free napkins. Yes, Ernock, I do. Because they have a map with different conclusions that they can jump to. Can you confirm? Confirm what?